can I explain the assessment and certification elements for CTC, the Certified Team Coach from Scrum Alliance? Of course. I used to be one of the people who gave this out. I was on the review panel. I got to read lots and lots of applications, and it was a great time. I stepped away for reasons that we have no need to go into, but I know it well. I still mentor people through this approach on a regular basis. I think I have somewhere in the region of 20 people in various stages in their journey today. And that is because I really believe in giving back to the community, in helping people, in supporting them achieve these goals. I really want to grow the next generation of great Scrum Masters, of great Agile coaches. I want to help people learn from what I know, and let's be honest, the mistakes I've made, so they can make newer, better, more interesting mistakes of their own. And the CTC is a great foundational element. When I say foundational, this is not a foundational qualification. This is, in fact, one of the top qualifications in the Agile world. It's really hard to get. But it is the basis on which you can springboard and show the world how good you are. So the way that CTC works is via, I would say, a paper-based application, but that's just showing my age, isn't it? But you're going to write a lot of stuff. There's two parts to it in the main. First part is the quantitative. You're going to write down who you are, how long you've been a CSP, what your involvement in the community is, what are the books and the models, and all the things that are quantifiable. You can say these are facts and they can be checked, and they are checked. And that's going to go off to the review panel, and they are going to go through that with a fine-tooth comb. Do the numbers add up? Are you talking about the things that they look for? Don't worry, if you've got here, you're probably okay. It's the second step that's difficult. So the first step, somebody goes through, they check. There used to be a scoring matrix, I'm sure there still is. Have you displayed sufficient evidence of the straightforward facts? Have you coached enough people? Have you coached enough teams? Have you been involved enough in the community as a leader? So are you talking, or are you setting up groups? Not, are you turning up to the user group just down the road on a Tuesday evening? I think that's not leadership, that's participation. It's welcomed, but not sufficient. And that is often one of the things that gets people pulled up, is they're not actively involved in creating in the community, be it articles, videos, or giving talks, or creating user groups and facilitating them and working behind the scenes. Don't worry, you don't have to be stood up on stage to get through this step. It doesn't hurt. But once you've got through that, you're going to be going on to part 2, and you're going to get a scary part of the application, because this is your thinking. This is the qualitative side. It's going to dig into how you approach problems. What do you see and how would you solve it? How do you normally approach situations that are common to any team level coach? These are hard, and they are meant to be hard, because what we want to know is the people coming in for CTC are the best. The absolute best within the team coaching category are the only ones getting through. So you're going to spend time explaining your approaches for starting up new teams, or how do you tackle a situation that's highly political? How do you identify problems within a team structure or a multi-team structure? Okay. We want to know your thinking. We want to know, I'll be honest, that you get things wrong. And really importantly, it doesn't matter what you talk about, that you've learned, that you've evolved your practice, that you are better than you were before because of that experience. So throughout it, we're looking for this story, or stories, should I say, of how you've improved as a coach, as a practitioner of the Agile ways. And what I do with people in this space is I work with you on that. I am happy to mentor people and help them and support them in crafting those stories, help you understand the quantitative sides. Because before all of this, you have to pass an interview just to apply. The first step now is a call. You would have a call with a member of the review panel, and they are going to ask you a whole load of questions about your experience, about your background, about your knowledge, and they're going to ask you to coach them. And this is the thing that people struggle with. And the reason it's been brought forward is because this is the thing people struggle with. The failure rate, or the not passing rate, it's not really a failure rate because you can come back round. Okay? We rejected somewhere in the region of 90% of all applications at CTC level. 9 out of 10 people couldn't demonstrate sufficient knowledge, sufficient practice, sufficient experience, or coaching skill. So as part of one of the improvements over the years, there's this call beforehand. You're going to turn up and you are going to coach. You're coaching a professional coach. You've got to remember that. They're not looking for consultants. They're not looking for advisors or teachers. They're looking for coaches. So before you begin the journey, make sure you have good coaching skills. The CTC level is pegged against ACC with the ICF, just for some TLAs. Okay, that means that we are going to be looking at the coach federations, foundations for the associate credentialed coach with the ICF. What do they say we could expect from that level of coach? That's what you need to demonstrate. You don't have to go and get it, but it doesn't hurt. But you do need to be good, a solid practicing coach, somebody who works and partners with people to help them think through problems, because that's what's going to be checked. You need to do that before going into the paper application, and each step you may get feedback, and you can revise your application, understand it better, and have a bit of a to and fro with the reviewers. But ultimately, they're going to be looking at the body of work holistically. Are you a high quality team coach? This takes time. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It can take quite a lot of time. When I was reviewing these, it could take me 2 weeks to work through something because we all have a day job. We all do other things, but also because there's a lot to go through and you have to go through it carefully and you have to go through it fairly. So the reviewers are going to be looking at your application several times, giving you the benefit of the doubt most likely, because they don't want to kick you out of the process and say, come back in 6 months, come back in a year. They want you in because you're a great coach, but they will only accept you in if you can evidence you're a great coach. The reason that I really enjoy working with people going for their CTC is, you get a wonderful qualification. You join a very small club at the other end. More importantly, you get to understand yourself better, your journey, how you approach things. Because in those qualitative questions, you're really going to be stretched. You're going to be asked how to approach hypothetical situations and explain your thinking. And to do that, you really have to look at what you do. And for me, that's the important part here, is you will learn so much about yourself, about your practice through going on this journey. And it might take time. It might be straightforward. I don't know. It's going to be unique to you. But at the end of it, you're going to be a much, much better Scrum Master, a much better Agile coach.